Well, good morning. This is Terry Cook with Pacific Rim Machinery. I am out here on Friday. I think it's the 4th today. And here on the Cat 313 FL. And this video is for Paul Eade of Texas. So the machine has not been started up today. There's the serial number plate, HDK 160. As you can see, the machine's got a pin grabbing quick coupler here. Yeah, there it is. And it's got a 60-inch bucket, a 5-foot bucket. That's a cleanup bucket. And it's got a 36-inch trenching bucket. And this is the thumb I was telling you about. And I'll show you in just a minute. But what makes this so special is this link right here. That's called a progressive link. Now on a lot of thumbs, cheaper thumbs, this rod end here is attached directly to the base plate of the thumb itself. And that gives you limited rotation. But with this extra link in here, the progressive link thumb, you're going to see that the bucket is going to be able to go way far out, and the thumb will foul it way far out too, like this. Usually in a zero link thumb, or one that doesn't have a progressive link, you'll go out to here, and then the thumb can't go any farther than that, even as the bucket racks way back. So we'll demonstrate that to you here in just a second. It's still got 2,190 hours on it. And yeah, it's in the same condition exactly as what you saw in the pictures. So here we go. What does that say? 2192 is the hours on it. And then I'm going to cold start it. I'm not positive that I've got a battery disconnect switch that's turned on. I might have to switch that on. We'll see here in a second. There we go. Oh, you got to fasten your goofy seat belt here. And there you can hear the engine starting up from a cold start. It's not all that cold this morning, but it's probably, I don't know, 40 degrees. Maybe it's 45 degrees. It's not all that bad. So here's the console for the machine. Here's the setup that we've got. And I'm going to go and operate this here for you. So here you can see, I'm going to move this other bucket out of the way so I can put the machine through its paces a little bit. This right here controls the thumb. I'll put this down a little bit so you can see it. I'm not a great operator in the best of conditions, but I'm videoing and doing a demo for you, so I'm not all that swift. This right here controls the thumb in and out, right like that. And now you'll be able to see, I'll put the stick out there a long ways. And you'll be able to see how far that thumb travels. Goes out to here. Way out to there. Now ordinarily, as I was saying earlier, on a zero length thumb, that thumb is only going to come to about here before it stops. So you can see that if you wanted to pull something out of a pile, or if you're loading a truck and you got some rocks in there or whatever, and you want to make sure you don't dribble them on the side rail of a dump truck or whatever, you're going to be able to go and hold on to stuff very nicely with the thumb being out to here. So let's just see, that's full out with the bucket right there, and the thumb travels all the way through to that position. Very cool. It's the best thumb there is out there. Here's the cleanup bucket. You can see the bottom of it. It's not hammered, it's not dented. They haven't been using it as a hammer. The blade on it, or I should say the replaceable cutting edge, you know, it's still got a little bit of wear, but it's going to need a cutting edge fairly soon. Now I'm going to go and pause the video for a sec. Okay, Paul, so I'm back now. There you can see the 36-inch trenching bucket. You know, the teeth are in great shape. There's the bottom of the bucket is completely straight, tons of wear material on it. And you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit here, that pin grabbing quick coupler. And I'm not going to demonstrate that to you because I just kind of goof it up. But I have seen it work, and it works great. So easy to move your attachments from one to the other, one bucket to the other, or post hole diggers, or whatever you're going to do. And so that's good. Now up here on the stick, it's kind of hard to see, but right there in the middle, there's a valve block, and you can see there's an unused connection there. What you do, if you're going to run a compactor or a post hole digger or something, the thumb will actually lock up in that upright position. You'll dump use the quick coupler to get rid of the bucket, pick up the packer or the post hole digger, and then use that unused connection to your attachment, and then you're able to select various work modes in the computer here, and that lets you utilize the auxiliary hydraulics. So in other words, you're using the thumb hydraulics to run other attachments. I'm not positive about this, but I think there's a good likelihood that through this control console you can also run a hammer, which takes, it's like either one-way or two-way hydraulics, I can't remember which, but I think you can set up different work modes and different tools within the console. So we're just here on the machine. I think you can probably hear the engine. I'm gonna spool it up. You can hear it got up to high idle very easily, and then the auto kick down work in order to go and as a fuel economy measure. I'm going to go and just touch this control here, the right hand lever, and you'll hear the engine spool up very quickly again as you're getting ready to resume a digging cycle. So there you go, you can hear the difference. Gets up to high idle very nicely, and then idles down very nicely too. There's just nothing wrong with that at all. So I'm going to put the stick out here a little bit, and then I'm going to go and idle the machine down like so, and I'm going to show you that the machine can lift itself up very, very easily at an idle. And if you watch the ground here, you'll see the bucket isn't moving, but you'll see that the machine itself is being picked up. I'm probably the tracks are probably 2 feet off the ground right now, and then I can very easily go and gently let myself back down again. So we know that the hydraulics operate smoothly, strongly, quietly. It's all good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and demonstrate that the Rotec is very tight. And the Rotec is the slew ring, or it's the circular piece that is the big bearing that holds the top of the machine to the bottom of the machine. Everybody wants to know about the Rotec, and with good reason. So pick out a point here, like for example, pick out a point on the top of the machine, say here, and then correspondingly look at a place on the bottom of the machine, like the track. And what we're going to demonstrate is that there's no relative motion. I put the bucket on the ground. I'm going to lift ourselves up very slowly, and what should happen is that as the machine goes up, there shouldn't be any relative motion between the top and the bottom of the machine. And I'm trying to hold the sucker just as still as I can. And what I'll demonstrate to you in a second here. Okay, so the Rotec is tight, tight, tight. And here you can see that the bucket is well off the ground. So there's just no relative motion between the top and the bottom, which means the Rotec is ultra tight. Now I'm going to let myself back down again. Perfect. Okay, now I can't multi-function it with holding the video here, but I'm just going to go and let you see that everything works very quickly. I'm just at a low idle here right now, but everything works very quickly as far as the stick and the boom are concerned. I'll put the stick out here a little bit. It's a very nice, stable machine too. So here I'll go down here like this. I'll get it on the ground, then I'll lift it up. And it's kind of cool because up here you've got a, what do you call it anyhow? Just a windshield up high. You can see the bucket goes way the heck up in the air. Who knows why you'd have to do anything way up there, but it'll go up there if you want it to. Okay, so I'm going to go and do that at a high RPM here, and you'll see that, listen to the engine, it'll spool up very, very nicely. Here we go. Now I'll show the stick going out at high idle. And then I'll bring it in at high idle. I mean, super smooth. Really nice. There it goes for the boom up, and here's to the boom down. So everything is working just right. Now I'm going to put the stick out a little bit here, and I'm just going to waggle the bucket here. And as you can see, there's a little motion at the nose of the stick. You can see where at the bottom of the stick, where the thumb attaches, if there's a little side-to-side slop, that would be the usual amount or less than the usual amount for $2,200. I don't think you do anything with it at this point. In another 1,000 or 2,000 hours, you could put a quarter-inch shim in there and tighten that right back up. You can see that in the quick coupler, there's no relative motion between the quick coupler and the bucket at all. So it's just a really nice tight machine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out into the center here, and I'm going to go and leave off of the hydraulics, and you'll hear the engine automatically idle down. There it goes. All right. So what else have I got going on over here? Okay, so I'm just going to go and move the seat forward. Which one am I going to here? There we go. You can see that the seat rolls very, very smoothly. Okay, not hardly any wear even on the pedals. This thing is just not seeing that much use. So I'm kind of short in the legs, so I'll forward a little bit. And here we'll go and they got it parked backwards here. But that's okay. So as the tracks are spinning around, no broken tracks, no bent tracks, no cracked pads, nothing like that at all. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and counter rotate the machine. So I'm going to go like this. And you can see that it's counter rotating very nicely. Now what I'll do is go over the side. What I've done here, Paul, is I've lifted myself well up into the air, and I'm just going to show you that the undercarriage is nice and quiet. No broken pads, no nothing. That's forward, here's reverse. The machine tracks nice and straight when you're going across the yard. Now I'll lift myself up over the other side and demonstrate the same thing on the other side. Now you can see when I'm swinging, I'm going to let the swing off, and the swing brake holds the machine just like it should. Here I'm going to go and let it off, and you can see that it swing brake is working properly. Let it off, and the swing brake holds the machine. Okay. So now we're over the other track. We'll go and put the bucket on the ground, lift the machine up off the ground, and we will, no squeaking, no grinding, no unusual wear. That's one way. Here's the other way. It's all good. So I'm going to let this down now. Now this machine is really fast, nicely fast on the swing. So I'm going to bring this in, and I'm just going to do some whirly-birds out here. We're just going to go around and around. So I'll hold it like this. It's like 10 or 11 revolutions per minute. Now we'll go the other way. No weird sounds, no squeaks, squallers, anything like that. It's all working good. Okay, there's the swing brake working again. So now I'm going to go and put the bucket on the ground here again. I'll leave myself a little room to step off the machine. I'm going to keep the engine on, and we'll go take a look at some of the compartments. Whoop. Let's see here. Here we go. Well, come on. This wax was a little sticky, and I persevered. So here we go. that compartment. All looks good. And you can see on the undercarriage, the idler bearing is about here. So the, you know, if you take a look at where the center of the idler is, so the undercarriage is not stretched out at all or having any unusual wear. It's all straight. And then all the structures are straight here too. So that's all good. Let's see if we can get into this compartment. There we go. Okay, so here's the hydraulic area, or the pumps and whatnot. So no runs, no drips, no errors, right? So good. Here's the fuel water separator. Very nice looking unit. And then we'll go up top. And then you can see the little wow here, you know, right here in the service door. I don't know if it could be pounded out or not. It might look worse if you tried to pound it out. And then here's a little damage here. And this probably could be heated up and just straighten out the gingerbread there. So now, I'm gonna get up on the machine and look at some of the other compartments. You know, toolbox, nothing going on there. Here's the swing drive. You know, no accumulation of oil, no leaks. I'm looking, when I look at like the valve bank here, I'm looking for valves that you have to keep hooked off of them because they got hot. Nothing like that. So now we'll go into the engine compartment. There you go. Just a nice 3/4 feet. And by the way, when I looked at the radiators from down below, there's a little bit of dirt and pollen and whatnot on the radiator screen. But the radiator itself, the bottom of the radiator, which is always what you want to look at, is very clean. None of the fins are bent. No signs of overheating. So it's all good. And then here's a picture of the engine. Okay, there we go. Just the right amount of oil in it. I smelled it before. It doesn't smell burnt or anything else. It's good. We would see some, this is the tube right here to the engine oil. We would see some puffs out of there, see some great smoke. There's nothing there. The belts all look great. No leaks at all on the front of the engine. Engine hood cover is nice. Top of the cab's all nice. You know, none of the rods are scored or barrels are bent or anything. So, there you have it. Just a very nice piece of used equipment. Lightly used. So I'm going to head off to the Starbucks here and see if I can upload this video to YouTube for you. Geez, what do you know? It's got all the grease zerks. That's nice. Well-maintained unit. All right, see ya.